Thanksgiving morning, this coming Thursday, we have another fine tradition. The Detroit Lions are hosting, well, this year, the Houston Texans. Seems like Detroit loses that Thursday game every year, but
this isn't Green Bay coming in.
No, I was going to say, Chuck Edo, you have a little bit of a different plan this year for Thanksgiving.
Hopefully the turkeys are going to digest well, because I'm going to go with Detroit here. You know, since the bye week, they really struggled out of the gate here a little bit this year. They had the bye. Since the bye, they're 4-2 against the number. They could have very easily been 5-1. We know what happened last week to Green Bay. They actually outgained Green Bay, 4 turnovers, and Stafford a little bit of an off game, and then
he gave the game away.
Yeah, he did, and you know he's been a little hot and cold. And usually when he has a cold game, he usually follows it up with a good game here. But Detroit, surprisingly, right now in the NFL second in yards, in the whole NFL second offensively in yards per game. The defense has improved as the season gone on. They're up to 10th, only giving up 5.3 yards per play. Meanwhile Houston, we know defensively they're playing well. Also, a little banged up. Joseph, the corner, got a hamstring problem. He's banged up. And really, when you look at this Houston schedule, a little bit of a soft schedule. You know, yes. 6 of their wins: Miami, Jacksonville twice, Tennessee, Jets, Buffalo, and Detroit. I think, coming off that loss on Thanksgiving Day, I think you're really going to get a team here. And you don't forget, Houston comes off that weird overtime, game to Jacksonville here, the other day here, and I like Detroit here on home. I think they get the job done.
VR, your thoughts?
I agree with Chuck. Houston's schedule has been soft, and in fact, that was why I made them my, team total biggest bet. That was pretty much the only bet I made in the NFL over 10. They did it last year. I thought they'd do it this year if they stay healthy, and they've been healthy this year. So I agree with that they had the soft schedule. Detroit scares me on Thanksgiving, let's be honest. I've been burned with them since I was a kid, trying to be on
the
sharp side.
Yeah,
exactly.
I know.
And the public's just destroyed it going against them. For me, it comes down to what's my number compared to what the bookmakers are giving. And I make Houston a 1.5-point favorite, 2 at the very most. Right now the line's 3. With all the money that's going to come on Houston, I would not be surprised to find some 3.5s out there on game day, especially at the square shops. We know how important of a number 3 is. So for me, it's simple. That's the value side, the home dog. So once again, I'm going to hold my breath. I'm going to be on the same side Chuck is. I'm going to be on the Detroit Lions come Thanksgiving.
Just an observation I'd like to point out. Houston has played 2 NFC teams. Green Bay went in there and buried them.
Yep.
Chicago went in there again. They went into Houston and they struggled. Houston won 13-6.
Right. That was the bad weather too.
With the backup quarterback too. Remember, what's his name got hurt, didn't he?
Cutler got hurt. Banged up in the game. Yeah.
And then the other tough team they played was the Denver Broncos. That was at Denver early in the season. I don't want to say they struggled, but they went to a big lead. Denver came back on. So my point, kind of hitting what VR said about the schedule, they had a bit of a soft schedule. I don't know where I put Detroit as far as good, bad, but this is a spot where Detroit can play very well.
Detroit's inconsistent, man. I mean, they have all the talent in the world.
No doubt.
And they just can't get it done. I think it's time to get rid of Schwartz.
And their defense, did good against Green Bay. So, I think, and that Houston game was against Denver early in the year. Denver got better after that.
Very much. All right, we've talked about it. Let's go ahead and make it official.
Thanksgiving Day, early morning game. I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions here against Houston. Detroit at a good spot at home. Houston coming off the overtime game, the crazy game against Jacksonville. Detroit's really improved since the bye week, playing much better, 4-2 against the number. I think they have enough to get the job done here on Thanksgiving Day.
I hope my appetite isn't ruined by noon.
That's it, yeah.
Right, I'm going to be on them too. I'm on them too, Chuck. I think that's the value sign.
All right, coming up next, we're going to look at the Redskins at Dallas. VR is going to give us his
winner
pick on that one. VR is going to give us a winner in that game. Just a reminder, you can see all our videos at pregame.tv.